Iko Nini.
Iko Nini.
Episode 190. Tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Sindio?
Yeah.
Na leo tuko na one of the legends in the game. And I say legends because umse alikuwa involved in when this music industry was turning into an industry. Because you know, an industry makes money. This guy was there. Najua, back in the days when there used to be like two major record labels. Ilikuwa gani Ogopa na Caliph. Collo ni aje jo?
Inakuwa vipi maze mwaf jo?
Poa.
Yano. Wagwaning.
Nice to see you again, man.
Good to see you, man, and thank you so much for having me here, man.
Yeah. The last time tulikuwa pamoja ilikuwa kitambo. Kuna like show nilikuwa try kufanya kwenye Nairo. So we were talking to like MCs. So you're like one of the MCs tulibongaga na yeye. Unakumbuka?
Maze, hey.
Tulifanyia wapi kwanza hiyo interview?
Ilikuwa St. Austin's.
St. Austin's.
Yeah. I remember because that's the day my grandma died.
Yeah,
so we were going to shoot Collo. So kuna vitu zitokangi kwa mind.
Yeah, okay.
Maze, 12 years ago.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago. Ilikuwa 12?
Ilikuwa January 2012.
Yeah. So that's 11. Okay.
11 years ago.
Yeah.
About 11 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting, jo.
Yani, yani, your time frame, yani, daughter wangu ana turn 12. So, yani, hapo ni milestone for sure, maze.
Okay.
I think it was high time tukutane tu.
Yeah.
Sindio? Kabisa.
So, Buddha, umekuaje?
Kupambana na mali ndio hali wanasema.
Yeah.
Saa zingine ni shwari, saa zingine si shwari. Lakini nasema alhamdulillah. Yeah. Tumekuwa tukipambana tu na mali. Hiyo ndo hali.
Okay.
Mimi napambana na mshwari.
Because kitu nafeel kama kuna time ulifika ukachapa career yako handbrake. And the reason why I'm saying ni handbrake ni cause ulikuwa on such a, unajua, like trajectory hivi alafu niko ukastop. Cause nakuwa ile time yakina you guy like ulikuwa everything was just, if Collo was on a song it was a hit, and then niko kama tu nini ili happen?
Maze, everything naweza sema ili happen. But more so after ile experience nilikuwa nimekula.
Yeah.
Tukiongea kuhusu entertainment, mziki. Ilikuwa imefika tu point fulani yenye nikaa ki crossroads hivi.
Yeah.
As a man, vitu moba ziko zina adapt, especially at that time.
Yeah.
So literally kwa rugby wanasemanga ball ukiachilia ball, ukidrop ball, basically nili drop ball.
Okay.
I had to kill the game. I had to kill the game so that then the game tunaweza get scrum down ingine fresh. You know, inaitwa seasons.
Yeah.
For me, I think at that point season fulani ilikuwa imeisha na the inner man in me alikuwa anadai season mpya.
Okay.
Away from what I was used to.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. It's life. Najua, that's why susamaga life waga interesting because we never know what tomorrow holds. Najua. Otherwise, if we had it figured out, ingekuwa boring.
Sindo hivyo.
But kila siku tukiamka nini. But pia, I don't know kuona kumka hii siku, but sana nikikutake back kabisa, I think close to 20 years ago. I don't know what used to happen at a place kunaitwa nini, Village Market. But there's this specific night nakumbuka, I think it was on a Friday night, but nakumbuka nyinyi kaa Klepto. Tulipatanaga tu hapo ile tunaona tu pale mko alafu sijui nakumbuka hizo siku.
Nakumbuka maze.
Yeah.
Nakumbuka.
Yeah. Cause Ogopa saa hizi as things stand, is it still there? Iliisha? What happened?
I think kwanza I think hiyo night tulikutana kwanza Sikiliza. Ilikuwa club Sikiliza.
Kunaitwa Sikiliza.
Club Sikiliza, Village Market. Ilikuwa hiyo around hiyo time kulikuwa na time Necessary Noise wali launch album pale. Album yao ya pili.
Yeah.
Na pia Coca-Cola Popstars kuna siku walidu kitu hapo.
I think
so I'm sure it had to be one of those.
I think no siku ya Coca-Cola Popstars.
Sindio?
Yeah.
But all in all, for Ogopa maze, nika university naweza sema.
Yeah.
Kina Lucas na Francis wanafaa consider transition into an university juu ilikuwa basically school. Juu venye mi nilimaliza tu form 4 ujue nilikuwa nimejoin Ogopa nikiwa bado high school.
Yeah.
So when I was to start school in UG, it was either school in UG or go on tour.
Yeah.
So for me at that time Ogopa DJs became uni.
Yeah. Okay. Uko nafaa kwenda uni kustudy?
Journalism and communication.
Yeah. Which university?
Busoga.
Oh, Busoga. You got
Yes. Kampala.
You Kampala bado?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes, 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 yes.
Because hiyo kitu musikiaga like at the quality of education in UG is very high.
Yes. By the way, they call it the pearl of Africa.
Yeah.
And it's interesting tunaongea about UG. Jana tu nimeambia tumepiga gumzo na wana kidogo. Naambia anaitwaje president our late president Mwai Kibaki alistudy Makerere.
Yeah. Yeah.
My 2 siblings walistudy Makerere. Ideally nilifata kujoin kwanza St. Lawrence. Nidu IB. And even the week before that I was comparing men in Africa. Na naangalia venye West African men who relate with each other as men, South African men, North African. Ikikam East Africa, the men who have held the African culture proper, Ugandan men.
Yeah.
Na feel wanakuanga very chiseled.
Unamaanisha?
As in, kwa hizo region zote za Africa nimekumentionia, the only people who bought into colonization are Kenyans.
Yeah.
And that's why that's the reason why we have a higher currency.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugandans got the shorter side of the stick. Tanzanians the same. But then there's this facade that we thought we were better. But it actually interfered with our relationship as men.
Yeah.
It ended up affecting state, church, marriages, and relationships as men. So when I look at Uganda, when I hear the story of Uganda, when I look at Uganda's leadership, I really can't help but admire, because even when you talk of martyrs,
Yeah.
people who've died for their faith, it's only in Uganda.
Okay.
But I call Kenyans the spoilt brats of Africa. We are.
Because I think then with hiyo mi naweza kucounter na the argument of yes ikikame to matters wale wamedai juu ya faith. I hope nime pronounce your word vipoa. Yes, Uganda. But when it comes to politics, I'd say Kenya, like Kenyan men stood up. Because don't forget, Moi was also a dictator just as much as Museveni. But Museveni has been able to hang on. Moi could not, because of the men in Kenya walimwambiaga like no, enough is enough.
Perspectives, again, I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
Someone said, as every person has a purpose, even every nation has a purpose.
Yeah.
So they say Kenya is a springboard of revival. It's a hope nation. So buying into colonization was a catch-22. It's a gift, it's a curse. In that, to adopt culture's mob, but to lose out on our very own authentic African culture.
Yeah.
So even if that was the case, I'm glad that we can, jirani wetu wanaweza kutukumbusha.
Yeah.
So yes, Kenyan men stood politically, na special shout out to Western,
Yeah.
part of Kenya, na naongea juu ya the Mulembe Nation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Mulembe Nation was the cradle of politics in this side of the continent. For the little history gather so far, I know that the original monarch blueprint yenye hata UK sahi wako nao ina come from your region. So I agree with you, yes. Ikifika politics tulikuwa a little bit mbele, but then your politics ili affectiwa ikifika kwa religion.
Yeah.
Juu hiyo politics iko everywhere, in every sphere of influence, whether it's in family, but politics in the church in Kenya.
Yeah.
Bro, hapo kuna kazi.
Okay. Cause hata vile uko na bonga juu ya Western kwa the cradle of politics. Imenikumbusha like one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard is why do lawyers love tea? Unajua? When the colonialist came. Ilikuwa na bongo alikuwa collaborator.
Mumia.
Alipatiwa chai kama this makes you closer to the white man, and that's how that love for tea. Eventually you forget where something started.
Yeah.
But it all started with trying to be closer to the white man. So this was a drink that the white man enjoyed. And then it's passed. That's why unajua assume like tea is loved worldwide. It's not. Unajua like the British love it. Like Americans don't care about tea.
Okay.
In any way.
By the way, speaking of British, do you know I got some interesting ndashia nawe?
Yeah.
Do you know that they are British Kenyans?
Yeah.
Like e concept ya whiteness, I think ilikuwa kuingiza wase box.
Yeah.
And especially I think your plot ili come from leaders wetu. Unajua venye wasemanga adui wa Mkristo ni Mkristo. Mimi personally as Collo, ena hii ni opinion yangu.
Yeah.
Sidhani issue yetu ni walami ama hii kitu ya colonizers. Haina anything kudu na skin color. I think your concept ilirushwa so that then kunaweza kuwa na divide flani. So wale leaders wetu wa huku wenye walikuwa kusema hiyo time waliagree na wase wenye walikuwa hawana melanin, weni aje ebu tuuzeni narrative so that then wale wasawatoikamizo sides nyi mtawakanyagia, but hizi sides sisi unajua si ndo kusema. So si tutarula wase wote, but nyi mtakaa mtupigie mashughuli. Sijui kama unanipata.
Explain.
So slavery haikuanza na Waarabu.
Yeah.
Slavery ilianza sale kulikuwa na mbogi fulani walikuwa na more resources na access.
Yeah.
Na walikuwa wanataka kuona venye wanaweza retain within. So kulikuwa na families walikuwa napeanwa. Na Waarabu wanakaa huku kutrade. Na hata hakuna story kama ya Waarabu.
Yeah.
Arab ni language yenye iliadaptiwa as a people wenye walikuwa crossbreed between Spaniards na Africans wenye walikuwa wamekam kutoka Sudan wakazaa hiyo Middle East. So wakaadapt hiyo language ya Arab wakakuwa Arabs.
Yeah.
Unaona? Hata Islam I think ili originate from Africa. Yeah. Arab is an African language. Unaona? So sale naongea about hiyo concept ya whiteness na colonialism. Hiyo ni mental slavery fulani tulipigwa ya concept ya racism, but ilikuwa to maintain a certain class to a certain place. So to be quite frank, I don't think mseka leaders wetu kaa kina mazee Rao wanaafektiwanga na racism.
Yeah.
Think about it. Hata leo tuseme unye akiamua kuingia Europe, unafikiri anaweza affectiwa na racism?
Mkono uhuru wa kufanya hivyo.
You see, so I think it was a concept that was it was a agenda that was pushed for a certain class of people.
Yeah.
So that in the nika MCSK na Prisk na camp.
Yeah.
As in nika madiko iza, if this certain class of people called musicians wakiwai kutoa ngori watumeni huko. Sijui kama unanipata.
Yeah.
Ina make sense. Anyway, on a light note.
Okay. Ni interesting kuiangalia from your point, because of course musabaga kuna a certain level of wealth ukishafika where doors are opened to you, sindio? So yes, tukibonga juu ya unye nini, but sasa sojua kuna ile racism inaitangwa ni systemic racism. So shida ya systemic ni it still exists in to a certain level. I would not never blame Kenyans under development on racism. That would not make sense because tumekuwa free for 50 years now, sindio?
But bro, have we been free really?
For 60 years. Yes, we've been free. It's just like our leaders have always looked at the short term, like benefits kwao, yani short term goals. They've never had long term, like corruption, for example. I don't think the British who come on atuameniaje become corrupt. That's a personal choice. Ilikuwa personal choice ya Jomo Kenyatta to have all that land. Personal choice ya Moi to amass all that wealth. Sindio? Personal choice ya Uhuru to let corruption thrive. Personal choice ya Ruto to let corruption thrive. This is personal choices. Otherwise, if they woke up like vile Magufuli aliwake up akasema kuanzia leo hakuna corruption Tanzania, it happens. They allow it to happen. And I don't think the white man plays any role in that.
And that, I'm so glad that you said that. So that then, even then as Kenyan men, we need to realize that our problem is right here within.
Yeah.
You see? I like what you said. You know, hiyo kitu nimekuambia, kuna British Kenyans.
Yeah.
Meaning, ukienda ka Nyanza, kuna families wana identify as we are British in Kenya.
Oh, you're saying, and they're black?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You see the concept of the United Kingdom. It's a United Kingdom of who?
Yeah.
You see, the same way Rome had governors in different parts across. They used to call the continents provinces.
Yeah.
So in the same way, kuna wenye kusema mafamilies huku, wenye wame network na mafamilies zenye wako in the same mtaratara. So they are British, but they are based here.
Yeah, okay.
But they are under the United Kingdom. So even the concept of how that had what they call the admin, which is in the UK, that's the admin. Sindio. These are now like the governments around.
Yeah.
So it's basically maze. It's a good example of what you call. So they call it a kingdom, right? United Kingdom, right? That's where the Commonwealth comes in. So aundo wasona drive trade. Ya venye wasona piga mboka.
Yeah.
But issue yangu hata si yao. Issue yetu iko hapa.
Yeah, issue kwa hapo. Because hata vile umebonga juu ya Kenyans identifying as the British, kumka Jonjo. Nonga Jonjo?
Yes, the late Jonjo.
Yeah. Ukisikia alikuwa na hizo za ovyo?
Of course. Sasa ni ungati.
Yeah, because Jonjo alikuwa na hizo. Like, I think ati mpaka alikuwa na sema he'd never buy any cloth that had been made in Kenya. All his stuff had to come from Britain. Not even Europe, it's Britain. Hizo ma pinstriped suits zake. So there was him. And then still talking about that, but now from a different level, allegedly. Hii saa ingine nitasema allegedly. Because ya Jonjo at least najuaga. I think it was public record. Anaitwa nani? Saitoti. You had Saitoti had some apartments, I think around Hurlingham, that you could never rent if you are this skin color. That's why I'm saying allegedly. But ilikuwaga hivyo. Ukienda tu maochi ndio alikuwa nakwambia. Like hapa kaya si mzungu ama muhindi hata usikuje enda. Ilikuwaga hivyo.
Hey.
Yani so issue si wapandre. Issue si walamiste.
Yeah, ni sisi tu.
Issue ni sisi na unacheki ukiangalia hii ndio kitu nimekuwa nikisema. There's a conversation around religion and Christianity being downplayed in this country. There's a conversation around state and government politics matters. That even now the creative cultural industry, we really, really need to have a conversation around that. But there's a conversation around family and marriage.
Yeah.
But before that, men, niko very keen season to find out men in this country, especially from Nairobi, Kenya, how do we relate with each other compared to how Nigerian men
So what's the problem? Because mi sijai fikiria kuna shida, so wewe ndo unanichanua sasa.
So tuseme niko na ijo, mi sikupendi.
Yeah.
But najua kuna kitu Mungu ameweka kwa mkono huu mjamaa. We mwaf, kwa busy yako una need how much kuinvest kuboost x amount. Shika wewe ndo upige mboka, returns ikirudi nipige kati yangu. But atupenda but kazi bado inapigwa. Sasa Kenya iko hivyo.
Kasi kupendi afadhali
exactly.
Si wote wawili.
Na ni juu ya colonialism. Juu it's now capital city.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying it's a catch-22. But then as men, I feel it's the right season for us to come back together and figure out that conversation. It's very, very important.
But unafikiri watu wanaweza pendana? Kaa tupendani si atupendani?
Si lazima tupendane. Si lazima, but tuheshimiane.
Yeah.
Heshima lazima idumu. Isipodumu atusongi. So unacheki hii region ndo iko na the best market. Wanaijo wako hapa, waese wako. Think about it.
Yeah.
TZ Wasafi on a run partly because of Kenya.
Yeah.
Nigerians wanando na stream mziki za Nigeria hii continent. Kenyans.
Alafu I think maybe vile umebonga juu ya TZ na Wasafi, I think ni time tuchanue wase. Kuna time tuko tunabonga hapa. The conversation ilikuwa na nani? I think na Daddy Owen. Ile time nilikuwa na mwambia vile 78 million streams za Zuchu zilitoka Kenya.
Of course.
Alafu msee yuko like but the population of Kenya is 50 million. I'm like, streaming does not work that way. Sasa sijui kwanza chanua mtu juu ya vile streaming work. Because kuna wasofikiria ati streaming waga Collo akistream acheze ngoma 100 times it's one stream because it's Collo.
Si hivyo maze, si hivyo huwa.
Kuna msee aliandika comment na alikuwa amenicheka. Yuko like, wewe ni fala. Utasemaje kuna 75 million na Kenya iko na watu?
Sasa si unajua, especially niko sure na unajua wase wenye wanabonga hivyo ni wase wa generation flani huku Kenya. That's what I'm telling you, we really need healing, especially for when you talk of mentorship, it's very key. Juu wale wase wenye wako loud na vocal, especially online, ukifikiria juu ya KOT ni a certain age, probably 25 going below.
Yeah.
Na to be quite frank, hata kami bado niko yet kulana a lot more. Sasa unaweza imagine now say there's only so much they know. You know, so and then the attitude of how you take correction or if you want to address, that's what I was telling you. There's a certain way francophone speaking countries or West Africans approach things, even when they deal with issues. Talk of South African men, they work together. Even if we say, xenophobia, but listen, they are together. Even if they're hating against other guys, but they're hating against other guys together.
Yeah.
There's that togetherness. That togetherness here in Kenya.
In a lack.
Na ina to cause, unaona plenty be found within
our borders.
Sasa hiyo plenty yenye iko within our borders maze kuna wase wana enjoy hiyo plenty. Na ni foreigners. So where are the natives? And we can't. Kenya nime like about narrative ya commander in chief wetu. Hasla amesema in Kenya kwanza, meaning zile days za kusema tunaomba serikali zimeisha. Sai kama aujipangi you're done. Na kujipanga ni nini? Iyo unity, especially as men being able to trade. Trade. Umeendeleaje nimekwambia kupambana na mali ndio hali. Hiyo ndio hali. So, yani we have a long way to go, but I'm loving it because at least we're having the conversation, man. Unaona? And especially coming from side yetu ya sanaa, it's a perfect time. So maze, I'm actually glad that I'm here, man.
Iya sana sijui kitu imenibamba ni kuna kuwaga na hii nini vile hata hiyo tukigo back to the whole like Zuchu conversation like what I was trying to point out was the fact that we really support foreign things more than our own, and we over criticize our own stuff, sindio?
Yes.
And it's a Kenyan thing, it's such a Kenyan thing that imekuwa kwa generations, because hata tukigo back to times za mabuda zetu, as much as walikuwa nasikizaga rumba, they used to listen to so much Lingala stuff, so tuli grow up tukijua foreign is better than local. We used to listen to more loose than the mushrooms,
Yeah.
ndio?
Yeah.
Alafu ikafika level ingine tulikuwa tunasikizaga like so much reggae, but the Kenyan side kulikuwa na watu wanabonga juu ya shida, but no one was interested. So nacheki now to come back and see like the past few guests, nimeteremka hivyo sitataja nani but niteremka niko na Discovery 4, niko na Jaguar, niko na S350 and I'm like, these guys have turned this entertainment thing into this, but a lot of Kenyans huko wanafikiria hasa nini mafala, they do nothing right, they do nothing. If these people can't inspire you for greatness, then hawezi kuwa inspired. Kuna ile sijui kama unafeel hivyo.
You know, it's interesting you say that. So we'll go back kidogo to the late Mzee Moi. He understood the power of music.
Yeah.
He actually heavily leveraged on music to pass his agenda.
Yeah.
As mtukufu rais, you know, because he understood the value and the power of music. The system deliberately made sure that kama wewe ni msanii, kuja tu imbe udance utoke uwe, opinion yako haiko in account, but yet you're not just being called to entertain.
Yeah.
There's influence, especially through entertainment. Cause think about it, and this is no disrespect to politicians, but in Kenya, politics is entertainment.
Yeah, it is.
So clearly you're seeing you're dealing with people who are hurt. And I'm not complaining, but I'm grateful because then now we can be able to tell this story differently. Why? We have some great artists. So think about Moi understanding the power of music. And it was so crazy that there's an institution called PPMC.
Yeah. Presidential music
private. So Moi used to consume the best of the country's musicians. Remember, for instance, an organization like the Kenya Music Festivals. Do you know that's the number one festival in Africa?
Oh, okay.
Yes. Ask me why.
Why?
The number one music festival in Africa
Yeah.
is Kenya Music Festivals. It started in 1940. To date, it has a budget of about a billion shillings spread across different schools. So where were those best of the best who presented to the president in 1980s, 90s? Those are guys who never got a chance to advance their music, because the way we've been trained is music ni unaona hiyo kitu wamesema wasiofikiria wasanii wa Kenya ni wafala. But wasanii wa Kenya ndo the most realest artists in this planet, because even with the little and close to nothing, they make things work.
Yeah.
Now imagine if they were equipped. You become a threat even to government.
Yeah.
That's why I like the celebration mountain of influence. It has music, film, art and entertainment, fashion and sports. Hakuna difference ya Abbas Kubaf na Eliud Kipchoge.
Yeah.
Abbas is spitting rhyme speed.
Abbas has achieved exactly the same thing in his realm. And he has his story. Let me ask you. Eliud has the speed dial number. I'm sure our commander-in-chief has Eliud Kipchoge's number.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure.
Eliud can run to him anytime.
No, he will run to Eliud.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when Eliud will share an opinion concerning any matter, it's coming from a divine place because of what happens with his gift. It's a gift that has attracted eyeballs from across the globe. So he's like a seer or a prophet. He could be placed in such kind of positions. So if that's him in sports, what's the version of Eliud in fashion? What's Eliud's version in art and entertainment?
Yeah.
Because they are there. It's not just Eliud. Kenya is a springboard of revival, bro. In it were the Hope Nation. So there's so many hope stories we are yet to celebrate. But because of the kind of systematic leadership that we've had, we've downplayed so many things, bro, as far as our own culture is concerned. But this is the season. I'll call it's the East African Renaissance.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the rebirth. We come from an era where we saw the possibility of us celebrating us.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you know what divided? Do you know what snapped us back again? 2007.
Yeah.
Because there were clearly some issues that weren't me. By the way, I was like, what's going on? See, we had brought guys together through music and art and entertainment.
Vijana tukutuki.
Bro, we used to go for shows for Pandres. Pandres used to come for our shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Somalis used to sing along to the music. Everything came together, but after 2007, everything fell apart. And then other nations maximized on the market. So for Zuchu to get 75 million streams from Kenya, now imagine that's Zuchu. What if streaming was big then?
Yeah. Alafu, try to imagine, Zuchu is getting these streams, which is more than most Kenyan artists. And these Kenyan artists are still driving Range Rovers and what. So what if we supported them? Because ushaskiaga difference yetu na Nigeria. Inasemekana at some point we were ahead of Nigeria.
Yeah,
But
we were.
The Nigerian government was like, if you play this foreign stuff, we are going to, like, kuna kuna hizi punitive measures. So what happened was, the industry in Nigeria had to grow. Because now, everything was about the best of the best in Nigeria ending up on radio, and now the best one just a stadium squeezy. But as long as Kenya tuko na ile attitude ya it's not good enough, what about this, what about, because hata angalia Gangnam Style, that song was stupid. Gangnam Style, but it had like 2.5 billion streams. Hapo sasa unajua, according to wale wana assume it's 2.5 billion people who watched. No, you might find it's 500 million people who watched 5 times
over
each.
and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because nafinika kuna wase understanding ile streaming ina
hiyo kitu ya streaming kwanza na wase
Population.
ni noma sana. But kuna kitu interesting umesema, you know, until Kenyans understand what we are, who we are, it goes back to that conversation of identity.
Yeah.
And I called it a catch-22 because we bought into the concept of colonization.
Yeah.
And then capitalism, this became the gateway.
Yeah.
We lost out on that culture. Now, why I'm saying it's a gift and a curse at the same time is because maze unaona tu ratchetry. But a gift because then perhaps we cannot find our identity in traditional culture.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's not where it is. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. Perhaps it's a different culture that we need to realize, because the rest of the world perhaps is stuck in traditional culture. And I'm saying Nigeria, for instance. The other day I was having a conversation with Rahim. So I know in the 90s, Kala Mashaka were in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And the stadium was packed.
Yeah.
Now, in the 90s, Kenya's pop culture was 100 years ahead. In the early 90s, Rahim told me, Rahim ni ule mjama, Private 19. He's the one who shot the video for Magnetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's currently doing a documentary. And he told me something. He said, Collo, when Nigerian movies were coming here in the 90s, they were scoring their picture with Kenyan songs.
Oh, yeah.
So ungekuwa na watch movie ya Nigeria, you'll randomly hear a Kamba song or a Luo song. Ama singuo utaomba mtu. The rhythm.
Yeah.
So when they were listening to... remember, because of capitalism, the first studios were here.
Yeah.
So the Congolese used to come to Nairobi to record. Now imagine trying to live from Nigeria to come to record music. They didn't have recording studios.
Yeah.
Not before Kenyans. Kenyans were the pioneers, the forerunners. So East Africa contributed to Afrobeats even before Afrobeats became Afrobeats. Now, the guys who know. So, for instance, I'll confidently tell you, I've had a seat like this with Two-Face before he blew up.
Yeah.
And he would play me a song when we were in Mwanza and tell me, yo, this is the song. I'm telling you, yo, this is your hit, bro. The next thing, we get a nomination for MTV European Awards. So Kenyans have always had it. That's why I'm confidently saying we are the spoilt brats of the region. But tuko na hiyo kibali, but atui maximize. Hiyo ndo sasa kitu inaniwasha. Juu Zuchu anaweza get 75 million streams from Kenyans.
Na hiyo ni YouTube. Atujabonga juu akina Boomplay. Akina Spotify. Kwa Spotify utapata Kenyans have more Spotify than TZ. Tuko na Boomplay juu ya internet access tuko nao than TZ. But we are the ones feeding TZ.
That's the thing. And ulikuwa mongea juu ya Jonjo. Na the late Jonjo. Izo masuti, the materials, they came from here. The raw materials for the suits, the pinstriped, they are taken from here. They're taken to the UK, knitted, returned back. Just the same way coffee. So everything plenty be found within
our borders.
But where the same line in Kiswahili is raha tupate na ustawi, meaning there is joy in wellness. Could it be perhaps the native Kenyans are not enjoying the plenty because they are unwell?
What do you mean about tuko unwell?
Si wellness iko na madimensions zake.
Yeah.
So ukifikiria spiritually, mentally, there was a survey done somewhere, nilisikia, ati Kenyans were ranked as number 9 of most depressed people.
Oh, okay.
Think about Kenyans on Twitter and how they just lash out at guys, like lashing out at people.
So we are going through plenty within our borders.
Okay, sijaichukwaga vile tunakwaga angry on nini as okay.
I'm telling you, people are unwell, bro. They are unwell because ndugu yetu alisema ingekuwa Karia mingekuwa nalia kusikia ati Naija night Nairobi. Do you think you'll find is there a Kenya night in Lagos?
Hakuna.
But this the other yesterday jana nilikuwa kuna mtu alinitumia link ya alternative band. Now they are trying to ride into very smart businessmen. They are taking our songs, creating a dope mix, and then playing it with instruments. Now, if another Kenyan band did that for our own minis, it'll be a tough sell to Kenyans. But because they're Nigerians, we'll buy it.
Oh, so like it's Nigerians doing Kenyan songs?
Sindio, the alternative band. Wanaitwa alternative band.
Yeah, this Kapuka, whatever, Gengeton. all genres.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it before, but I thought ni wase wako majuu.
Yeah, ni
Kumbe ni
Nigerians.
wase
hey,
Okay.
because of the market. This is the marketplace. The other day nilikuwa naongea na madha yangu. Naambia madhe, unajua of course maze for a long time kulikuwa na hiyo desire, wewe ni aje maze, mbona wendi kuishi majuu? Lakini nauliza mama, majuu vitu zinafanyika, si ndio? Vitu systems zina run. Si ndio? How come hiyo haifanyiki hapa? Then why are we getting guys going abroad to study, getting masters and PhDs and getting employment there? Why aren't they coming, bringing that knowledge back home?
Yeah.
You see? These are some of the mysteries that I'm trying to just learn from. Anyway.
Yeah, because Kenya, I don't want to know where. I think I've never looked at it from your point. The fact that tuli embrace colonialism na tuka embrace hiyo uzungu ikafanya tukaanza kudownplay ukenya. So ilikuwa, that's why like even
watu walikuwa napigwa ukiongea Kiswahili.
Yeah.
Ati you've gone out. Ati sijui mali stare, ati kukula sherehe, alafu I've heard stories of people being told, Toeng, you need to speak
like this.
Ongea kizungu na kwanza the more British or American it sounds,
The best.
Bro, we even have rappers who've rap. The other day I was laughing. I'm saying, yani Kenya. Actually, I coined this phrase. I said, we had to let in all the cultures. Like we lost our own culture. Then we bought into everything. Paka kulikuwa na group. Imagine wanatengeneza mziki inasema, Papa Godo, Chineke wene, Father you deplace my... Yani, think about it. A Kenyan musician mimicking a Nigerian accent. Because I'm not sweating them.
Yeah, I know.
As businessmen, they got it. They're like, okay, if this is what's rocking, this is what's bambaing guys, we might as well do it. And they sold. And they did shows. So I'm not downplaying that, but I'm asking, at what point are we going to export our culture?
I don't think we even have an accent. You know, shida. Hatuna like even a universally accepted accent.
That's this Kenyan.
Because inakuwaga kila mtu anatry kusound white. Najua. Kumbuka like at some point Kenyan radio stations. You think you're in New York, you think you're in London.
Maze.
Kila mtu alikuwa na accent.
Eldred Town.
Yes.
Sema na katweng. Lazima kuwa na katweng.
Yeah.
These are the mysteries, bro. But in all these things, Musema mina zi celebrate too. Either way.
Yeah, that's what makes Kenya.
Maze, diversity.
And the bull and the classism. Unafeel nini juu ya classism Kenya? Because I feel like there's also because of sijai connect na colonialism, but I think because of colonialism,
yes,
a lot of classism.
It had a lot to do with colonialism because colonialism will bring about peer capitalism.
Yeah.
And that was a system that became. So classism kuna venye, in my opinion, classism ilikuwa the who's. But today, classism maze, hiyo ni relative juu. Because we're so diverse, you can be in the same city and meet a nika kusema cool kid.
Yeah.
Cool kid haimaanishi hiyo ni punk. Ama wewe ni umetoka ubabini. Unaweza kuwa uko area zenye ni informal.
Yeah.
But wewe ni cool kid.
Umetulia tu yani.
Yani wewe ni msetu roho safi, yani unacheki. So classism sahi I think in a morph into something, into what are your circles? And you could be in a circle, of course, with when you wase wanajiweza, they might not be billionaires, but ni wase wanapiga kazi yao freshi, wanaingiza do zao na wanajua kula sherehe na kuishi maisha. So class sasa nikaa venye digital imekaa maze kuna silos tofauti. Yeah, so I think that's my response to classism.
Yeah, because mi nikibonga jua classism kwa nafikiria like if you take it back like a station like Capital FM existed solely because of classism.
Of course.
Najua because ilikuwa like this class they don't speak Swahili. Hakukuwa na a single show in Swahili on even till today. Sindio? Hakunaga a single show. Hata ukisema kwenda on air I think unaweza futwa. Unacheki. I don't think unaweza enda place kama Jamaica ukose show iko na patwa. Unacheki. Ama uende Nigeria because they have their own version of patwa you pia in Nigeria. You see? So that's
Pidgin.
Pidgin. Yes. That's what nabonga juu yo classism. I feel like it was too much. Like kuna time mi siwezi kudanganya, mi kuna time kwa nafikiri hata nikienda majuu ukienda count after job capital mi niko najua gani hiyo
ni normal. Yeah. Well, again, think about it. So awase wenye walikuwa hiyo classism ya for instance ka your radio station it was just a handful of hiyo mbogi nasema certain circles of guys who had resources.
Yeah.
And whatever KBC was probably offering or kina Metro FM, they're like nah. Was it Jill Scott?
Jill Scott.
Was she the one who used to do Capital? What was her name? Was it? No, alikuwa naitwa nani?
Unasema the lady?
Yeah, what was her name?
Okay. Tafuta nani? Linda Holt.
Oh,
Linda
yes,
Holt.
Yes.
She died?
I don't know. I hope not.
But
hata kama no. I
she's
know.
alive.
And if she's transitioned, it is well. If not, mazee more life.
Yeah,
but
I think like she's still alive. Yeah. Alafu Phil Matthews in the morning.
Unaona?
Yeah.
So they it was a group of guys who just wanted something alternative, and then because they had the resources, the concept of that to the local mwananchi or the guy who was not in that was like, cheki mazenja roza kipunk wakona easy, so everyone wanted to identify then with that.
Yeah.
It became a hook. You see, and that's very interesting because venye tu tumesema Nairobi iko na wase tofauti. Tulikuwa naongea about hii conversation na huyo Raim anasema so you grew up in Nairobi West, and Nairobi West was like the melting pot of flavor.
Yeah.
So Nairobi West had your guys from Islando, kama ulikuwa so your folks wako wame work through the ninis, wame move from whether ni Ololo, wametoka Auta, Buru, wamekama wamesettle around Nairobi West South Sea region. Hiyo ilikuwa nika bridge between ubabini na kutoka sasa informal. So in the process of all that happening, unapata sisi tulikuwa positioned in a place where tulikuwa tunasikia Capital, tunaelewa story ya Kutueng na kila kitu.
Yeah.
But maze, in as much as tunaweza play, juu again, I mean, nani ajui Kutueng Kenya?
Yeah.
Haro ukisikia news, ngoja, before sijui kama unakumbuka KBC. Kulikuwa na progi ilikuwa inaingia usiku, sasa wasa walikuwa wanagojeanga hiyo progi. Wacha presenter Atueng jina hiyo progi ni lilia machozi. Sema so, without further ado, I know here is your favorite program that you've been waiting for, The Bold and the Beautiful. Twanging.
That was bold.
It became a thing. So culture maze, culture Kenya ni interesting, but man, that's why napenda sana juu in the process, you know, you get to interact with different people.
Yeah.
And again, that's what I'm saying. For this point, I hope we're not sounding like I'm not complaining about Kenya. I'm actually very thankful for this country and this specific city.
Yeah,
But I'm saying, I feel like we need to now take what's rightfully ours.
Yeah.
We've given space to so many people. They have maximized on this space. The global family, whether you're American, whether you're British, whether you're Nigerian, whether you're South African, Kenya loves you. Yeah. And I know we've given you a home, but now we need to export to you our culture.
Yeah. Because even like vile umebonga juu hivyo, nimeanza kufikiria about it. I think it's time, like vile government inatafuta ways to tax. I think we should start taxing more artist akikuja. Unaelewa? So tuseme if there is a like Boys to Men wamekuja, make sure like kuna unakunga ile tuko nachukua 5% from this local artist. Hawa ni 25%. Nacheki.
Yeah.
So at 25% more, which is 30%. To discourage hiyo nini ya kuleta wasi. Because as things stand right now, Kenya has enough musicians to just keep it in.
Bro, I totally agree with you 100%, and that's why I'll refer to Camp Mula. When I discovered Camp Mula, I literally stopped listening to songs from the US. Rather, I stopped looking for songs from the US. If anything, it's like today. I will not. It's very hard for me to go and search for a West African song.
Yeah.
Not because I don't like music, but for some strange reason, it'll find my ear.
Yeah.
A DJ somewhere will play it. You will hear it. And remember, Nigerians have YouTube money. Kenyan musicians don't have YouTube money. Yet.
Because a billion streams. Ridiculous, man. So many of them, like 1 billion, 500 million. Like, it's ridiculous.
And a majority are coming from here.
Yeah. Sisi hatukosagi. Ni sisi na European women. No, white European women. Somehow white European women have turned Afro into this thing. They're just crazy about African music.
And I'm loving it because, and then I love Nigerians because of that. They've managed to put the continent on the map through Afrobeats. But remember, there's a story, bro, about that Afrobeats.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I personally respect about you is that you're an MC. You know? Rap ni rhythm and poetry.
Yeah.
So you got that rhythm and you got that poetry. Now, that style, it's a style of music, is what hip-hop culture, it needed something to dominate the culture.
Yeah.
It needed music because music is the most effective tool.
Yeah.
When R&B, I don't think would have worked. It grabbed onto rap.
Yeah.
Then it formed a genre called hip-hop music.
Yeah.
Now, there's a whole story about that history and how that genre ended up being misused.
Yeah.
However, where I'm going with this story is the impact of hip-hop across these 50 years. It's turning 50, by the way.
Yeah.
It's turning 50 this year.
Yeah.
The impact of hip-hop on the African continent has seen Africa come up with its own thing called afrobeats.
Yeah.
But the world is just consuming afrobeats from West Africa and South Africa.
Yeah.
And no offense to anyone else, but I think Kenya has the most beautiful story when it comes to afrobeats because it all came here. It all started here.
Now they're using a Nigerian artist as the banner boy.
No, that's fine. I'm happy. I'm happy for Burna Boy.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad because I saw his career kick off. I got to learn of him in 2013 and we're in 2023. So in 10 years, that guy has done his 10,000 hours and he's the most sought after artist.
Yeah.
Kudos. That's Burna Boy. But when I come back home, in 2013, there was a group called Camp Mula.
Yeah.
Bro, I stopped looking for American music because I was like, okay, that's some dope stuff, but we have it here. And these guys are not even trying to fake it. It's the lifestyle they live.
Yeah, yeah.
So our twang ati kutry kufake, they were living it, bro.
And keeping it fresh all day.
And they were keeping it fresh. So for me, the plenty had already been found within our borders. But then I was like, why is it short-lived? Where is the continuity? Anyway, there's a rebirth. We're in that season.
But sasa haufikiri ukisema hivyo like Camp Mula ilifanya ukacha kutafuta American music. Sisi inamaanisha nikuwa nasema Camp Mula were doing American music.
No, I'm saying if I needed any music that was done in English, I would find it here.
Yeah.
If I was going to look for music, any English music, I would find it here. You see, remember, not very many people used to do music in English.
Hizo siku.
And anyone who, very few guys, I think Bamboo, alikuwa na do some kidogo English. Very few people, and I was wondering, why, if you are able to express yourself in English musically, so you do it. Kuna siku tukiwa Dubai na nani anaitwaje Jua. Ni before hata Party Don't Stop itoke. Nilimplay a Party Don't Stop. I think it was 2009 or 2009. Akaniambia, lakini mbona wasa wanaimba na Kizungu? Sijui kama alikuwa na refer to me juu nilispit verse yangu yote.
Na Kilami.
But my question was, but kama msee anaweza spit na Kilami. Asi spit.
If you can speak the language.
Na itoke tu vitamu.
Papa Jones.
Yeah.
Ana spit na mazi natoka vita.
Yeah.
So plenty beef, plenty bro. Kuna plenty.
Na hiyo disconnect unafikiria ilianzaje? Because ukiangalia Kenya, sisi ni one of hizo countries tunaamini Kizungu sana, si ndio? Like even use it to measure intelligence. Like hauwezi ongea Kizungu, you're not intelligent. But somehow ukifanya music na Kizungu unakuwa at some point before internet ikame at least ianze kuequalize vitu. Kulikuwa na certain level of you're looked down upon ama unachukuliwa kama msee fake. Now yet tunaweza ongea Kizungu, like when it comes to the language tunaielewa kabisa.
Hiyo ilikuwa uivu. Hiyo ilikuwa tu uivu. Yani unajua kao umemaster ku learn English ama any other language na msee mwingine ajui. So why is that a problem? Hiyo ilikuwa uivu tu. Wasa walikuwa nasikia uivu. Juu I mean kuna the haves and the have nots, and then for the haves and have nots it boils back to that conversation of family. Classes. Classism. Bila classism hatungekuwa na Jews. Jews ni a class of people wenye walikuwa na think differently. So ile society ilikuwa imewasukuma kando, they figured out how to emerge at the top. It wasn't about tribes, but it had different peoples from different walks and tribes. So classism is actually a cool thing.
Okay.
So that ina set apart.
Because classism ndio naweza sema imeaffect Kenya in a way that we can't have music festivals zile ziko na everyone on the ground. Because kuna kuaga, people will be robbed. People will be, unajua? Because the poor will come there to rob the rich. Because like ukienda event ya imekuwa sponsored na Capital, najuaga hapa watu watatokea na masimu, watu watakuwa na do. Ukienda event imekuwa sponsored na Ghetto Radio, unaenda na Mulika Mwizi. Automatically unaacha phone yako mtaani.
But I think anyway, I have a different opinion. And I like what you said, and I'll use the genre reggae.
Yeah.
So I've attended, the first time I attended a reggae concert out of this country was in 2006.
Yeah.
We attended a Bob Marley memorial concert.
Yeah, wapi?
Ilikuwa Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Na ilikuwa na kina, that's when I got to discover there was an artist called The Gentleman.
Yeah, yeah.
Kina nani ilikuwa na lineup ingine moto, unaweza imagine. Venye mazee wase walikuwa na walk-in crowd control, watu wanakula mkati yao pole pale, haona maneno na mtu. Watu weni wamejiheshimu. Nikakaa chini nikasema, mazee nakumbuka mazee nikiwa Kenya tulijaribu kwenda, sijui ilikuwa Glen Washington ama ilikuwa Gregory Isaacs, Nyayo. Tulikuwa tunatembea, na ujue tulikuwa na mbogi yetu. Tulikuwa sisi yote maboy tunatembea kwenda kwa stadium. Tuko mtukaa 7. There is a group of guys who surrounded us as we were walking. Mmoja akasema, mwizi. Now you know us guys tunajaribu kuhepa, alafu anaanza kuturushia mawe.
Yeah.
When you talk of classism, in my opinion, it has a lot to do with maturity.
Yeah.
Because the US being, of course, it gained its independence way before. Their maturity is different to our nation.
Yeah.
When it comes to even handling things, even just how guys approach, even how guys relate with each other. Hapa Kenya, we still have a long way.
Yeah.
We still have a long way to go.
Yeah, Kenya.
Juu msea hizi toka tu mahali, unachiki, niambie bas gigi yenye naeza enda, yenye siya ubabini, yenye mepangwa alafu ni poa.
Ni hard sana.
So,
Ni hard.
Sindio? So I think ni maturity tu. Wana need kumachua. Juu at this point where palituko kwanza kwa hii season, atuwezi anza kusema history ati lakini wale wasee mazee wako na do mkikam together mnaweza kuwa na do.
Yeah. Mnaweza kuwa na do. So hata nini wacha tubongeje hii story. Let's talk about money kidogo.